Traders, gold, these signals will mostly work out. I mean, look, except for the ones that are going against the trend, we don't take those against the trend. And when the higher time frame is bullish, we're always looking for the higher time frame swing, the pullback. So we're going to ignore that. And then when it turns green in a higher time frame, bullish trend, the idea is to jump on board and start down here and add to your position. Now let me just share, and I was talking about this in my monster trade, my Bitcoin monster trade videos. Look, the green zone under, there's your stop loss. So the idea with this is, like, I'm going to be sending an idea into our VIP, and the idea will be something like, and I'm going to do it again. In fact, I'll show you. I'm going to send a new idea in. But the idea will be, okay, we've had a rally. We're looking for the pullback. And I'll say something like, wait for the next buy signal. Set a momentum sync, this one here. Set a momentum sync alert, that one. And take the next buy signal. And when I do that, and especially in the beginning of the week, what we're looking to do is to, okay, here's the beginning. See this orange? These orange lines. This is the beginning of the week. So what we intend to do is buy, okay, and then I'm going to show you another trade idea here. Look, come back to the beginning of the week, and when I post these into here, let's just go up. Here it is, look. No, I'll go to this one. That was the original. Set these bullish alerts. Okay, you want to see these things turn green. When was that? That was on the 13th. Okay, go back. Okay, that was back in here. So that was the idea. You set these bullish alerts right there. That's the 13th, this one. So we were looking for, this to pull back, set the bullish alerts and take the next one. So the bullish alerts kick in, you take them and you just follow the green zone with your stop loss. In fact, the green shaded zone between that and the green dots at the bottom. Or you can go just with the green dots at the bottom if you like, right? So just so that, you're not too tight with it. And and build it. And look, even the previous week, if you want to hold on to these trades over the weekend, this is the monster trade idea. Like, gold had a really deep pullback, and now, I'm expecting gold to perform really well. So the monster trade idea, if you haven't seen it yet, watch that one on in my Telegram. You just scroll up, or Discord, scroll up and you'll see it. Monster Trade, or in my YouTube, right? Just watch that and get your head around what that's all about. Because what we want to do with these is actually enter these trades, but hang on to them. And as they move, we look to close 50% of the position and then just hold them. So like if we did that back in here, we've got two of these that are now running at, all right, back down in here. What's that? Yeah, that's 4R. That's 5R, right? Close to it. Close, there's 4, 5, 4, 9, there's 9R there, right? 50% of your position. But when you add them together, it's a full position. So, position size, right? So you take 50% off and just hang on to it. That's what I'm proposing that you do with gold. Every trade you take, just hang on to 50% and then wait for the next buy signal and then open another one. When you open another one, when you open a new one, you close the previous one, you close 50%. So just wait for it to reach 1R, close 50% and then take that next buy signal. That's all you got to do. So at the moment, we've had a fairly deep pullback, and I'm going to say it all over again. All right, watch this. See these two indicators here? I'm just waiting for this one here. I'm waiting for green to roll, to turn up above, to cross red. And, we set the alarm. I got the alarm. You can see where my mouse is. The alarm's... So, look, I can be anywhere, and that will go off on my phone. I can be at the restaurant. I can just jump into my trading view on my phone and push the button. Okay? And what you can do, like if you're going to trade with your phone, in your computer, just set up a long position ready to go. So that, and work out, okay, roughly the stop loss. So that when it goes off on your phone, all you got to do is just grab that with your finger and move it over to the spot, slightly adjust the stop loss, and then just take the trade, right? But yeah, and you want to set the this target. Yeah, go for broke. Go for 10R. Doesn't matter. Just want to leave that in because we're going to be looking to take 50% off at around 1R. All right. So all I'm waiting for now is two things. Waiting for the buy signal, and I'm waiting for this to cross up. When they're confirmed, that's a possible opportunity. Now today we've got a lot of data release events tonight through the US session, all through London and all through. So look, seriously, just be careful. I mean, look, if you've been trading this and you've got all of these in sitting in the money, well, there's no problem. You just automatically take the next trade, be done with it, because you've got this buffer behind you. Oh, and here's the thing: this one's closed at 50%. This one here, okay, you may or may not have closed this last one at 50%. So, out of these, there's going to be, when we do get a deeper pullback, you'll lose one. But the rest of these, well, actually, okay, if you stop, well, your stop loss would have been on that green. You just keep your stop loss. You got the two green zones here. So this stop loss is still okay. All right. You just keep that stop loss down closer to, between these two green. You'll see them. Look, I'll show you. See here? You got two green zones there. You got this one above, and then you got this one. So your stop loss, in between, or sit it on that, and that got you out of trouble there. Anyway, this is ready to go. Stop loss roughly about something like that. Set 8, 10R target, whatever. Okay, and then when these alerts go off, just come straight in. Just take the trade. Just buy. So that's that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this one into a trading view of video. So we're going to do a little bit of technical analysis. I'm going to explain a few things. So let's just do that. The monster trade. This is my monster trade strategy. I just want to show you this. All right, I'm bullish gold, and I've been talking about this in my Bitcoin videos. That's cool. That's quite a nice outcome, right? That's not a bad TP level, right? Depending on your stop loss, if you had a tighter stop on that, all right? So here's the thing, and if you haven't already, maybe just go back and watch these videos, because this could absolutely change your life. I've done 3 videos on it. This is on Bitcoin, and we started these videos back here. So guys that have been following me are in these trades, and they're holding 50% of these positions. They've closed 50% of these positions, right? Now they're just hanging on to these, and you're going to be surprised what I'm going to say, and we'll get to that. Okay, so firstly we build a buffer, and then it's just completely risk-free after that. Once your first couple of trades close 50, leave it alone. Now, in this Bitcoin video, I did say you could trail your stop loss, but I'm going to change that. Going to change that idea, and here's why. All right, we're talking, leave it in for a year. Okay, so on every one of these days, in a bullish trend, we get a pullback and we get another opportunity to load up maybe multiple positions in a day, not just one. So maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 a day for every daily candle. So, if this was the case back in here, where are we? Okay, here's the thing, right? Let me just throw one more in. Okay. These trades, we start back here, and I'm going to come back to where we are currently, and we'll, if you haven't started this process, we're going to start the process here. Because I tell you now, okay, just quickly, I'll come back to this, right? Oh, this is a weekly time frame, so you'll have, how many trades could you open in a week in each one of these? I mean, okay, just try to get your head around that. Analysts, I've been watching, a few people out there who are renowned, who, know what they're on about. One of them is saying that he's expecting gold to hit 10,000 in 2026. 10,000 is, that's up here. That's 10,000 there, right? He thinks gold is going to 10,000. Another analyst is very confident, and he's saying it's a conservative projection that 6,000 in 2026. So we've got a couple of very interesting look, seriously, 10,000. Let's just take it there, okay? See that? That's 50R. 50R. Have a look down here. 50R. Now, you take 50% off the table, but have a think of this. This is on a week. In a week. How many trades can you open in a week on gold, if it's in a bullish week, right? Maybe 2 or 3 a day. So, and there's 5, okay, 3. That's 10 to 15. Every one of these is 10 to 15. Let's just say 10 trades at 50R, okay? Get your head. That's 500R on 1 week. 500R. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take 50% off each one. Cut it down to 250R outcome for every one of these weeks. All right, go back. Right now, seriously, guys, like this is something that look, I've talked about this in years ago. This concept, and I think it went over a lot of people's heads. But if you watch this video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So, there's a crazy target way up there. Okay, tenner. I mean, hang on to these for a year. That's what I'm saying. Okay. For the whole 2026. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You open these trades and just automatically you're going to set, a target, a 20R, because you can move your target. 10R if you like, doesn't matter. And look, as it trades up, you'll just move your target. But what you're going to be doing, or, if you're into this, okay, what I'll be doing, let's put it that way, is, let's come back here. This is the daily chart. When gold pulls back, so you start this, and look at this run, okay? So at some stage, it's going to chuck a wobbly, and we'll get a pretty deep pullback. So there's one here, there's one there, there's one here. All right, let's cover that right now. That pulls back here. All of the trades where the stop loss was, okay, you might have a couple in here, okay? Let's just do that. All right. These trades here, let's just put no, we don't do that. We'll just grab that. Any trades with a stop loss above this, you lose them. But you've already taken 50% off the table. So they're going to be profitable marginally. No risk. But these, where this pullback doesn't touch, these ones here, under here, they remain. They're still there. This is my monster trade strategy. Right, so let's just get rid of these guys. They're gone. We lost them. We lost them on that pullback, but they're still in there. And then we start building again. We just go to town, right? You just trade gold, make gold your baby, and go nuts. Do the same with Bitcoin. And, what else do you want to trade? I mean, the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. Okay, just, guys, this is life-changing. So this takes off here. And, you just like your stop loss under the previous daily low or whatever. There's a range there. Just, do that. Continue on. How many, in a day can you add, right? Maybe 2, 3. So every one of these is 3 positions, 2 positions, maybe more. These stops are a bit tight. So you just go under that range. You've just got to be sensible with your stop loss. But I'm just going to assume that, you did that. Don't go too tight with your stop. Just give it a little bit, right? These are all running. Oh, with the exception of whatever you entered here. All right, so you might have lost a couple up through here on that pullback. So let's just mark that up. You got this pullback here now, so you lost a couple in here. No big deal. But you've made 50% on them anyway. So you're still making money on every trade. All right, so let's say you lost a couple here. All right, that's fine. These are still in. Okay. Think about that. All right. We move on. Okay. All of these behind us, they're all still in. They're still running. They're all still running. And then you get your next pullback, the big pullback here. So all of the trades that were up in here now get taken out. But don't forget, you're taking 50% off the table. So now, look what you've got in the system. You've got all of these trades still running in profit. So let's now narrow down to where we are today. All right, so we've been building. We've got the low here, so you'd stop loss under the low. Okay, so I actually posted these into my group last week. So my members are already trading these. I don't know how many of you guys are holding on to these positions, but okay, close 50% and just leave it in for a year, right, for 2026, if you want. So here we are, and we've got another opportunity now. This is trending up. So you've got this massive buffer behind you. You lose one and it's just, you know what I mean? Like, how insignificant is that if this happens to pull back and then, continue on, right? If we get a deep pullback, how insignificant is that if you lose maybe this one here, but you've got all of these still running in profit and you've closed 50% of every one right now here. How are we going to get involved with this? You just wait for, and I've got a system that tells me when to enter these trades. And look, at the end of the week, at the end of a trend, you're going to get, let's just grab a VWAP, right? See the VWAP line here? Okay, you're going to get a deep pullback at some stage. It travels out of VWAP, and then, after a while, down it goes, and then, we're back on our merry way, okay? It'll come back into VWAP, the blue line here. And at the moment, it's out, right? So if you open to trade up in here today, that could get taken out, right? But don't despair, and keep your position size. I would keep it at 0.02 lots, if you like. Don't get greedy. Then you can close 0.01, and that's, so whatever. Look, if you go in, go 0.04, or go in at 0.2, so just so that you can easily take 50% off. Don't overdo it with gold, because that can get expensive if you lose your first couple of trades. Just go small, go 0.02 lots to start with, guys, and build your buffer. Get ahead, and then slowly you increase your lot size. Watch your leverage. You need plenty of leverage with your broker. All right, so I've got a system that tells me when to enter these trades. It's already built in. I've got that. Here's the thing. And look, I'll show you here. Let's just go down to a 30-minute chart and plan our next trade, or even a 1 hour. That's a good idea. Okay, just go to 1 hour. 30 minutes a bit tight. So let's just get ready for our next trade. Now, just remember that VWAP is down in here. This currently is trending down, and it hasn't broken structure as yet. Well, we've got a character, change of character, right? We've got a little bit of a thing here, but it's 1 hour time frame. Got a little bit of a thing here. This is a shift in this downtrend here. A structural shift. It's not a clean break of market structure. Okay, so we've got that. All right, so you could, if you wanted to, you could enter a trade there, okay, on that breakout. Because that see, when it pulls back, breaks out, pulls back, breaks out, it's generally where you're going to enter. And stop loss, well, 1 hour time frame. Look, that's a good question, isn't it? You've got, see this thin down here. All right, that's a fair value gap, right? I would probably go under that and go in at 0 point whatever, okay? But this, let's just grab the ticks. We've got a stop level there. So here, chuck that in there and just go 0. That should give you 10R. And if you go 0, 0, that should give you 20R, okay? Easy, just add 2. Oh, hang on a minute. What am I talking about? Sorry, my bad. Terrible with maths. Okay, just go 0, 10R. That gives you plenty of room to move. It's 10R. And as this moves up, then your profit is going to be, look for 50%. You can just measure it. Just grab a square. Just do that and then throw it above, okay? There's 50%. So I would take 50% off there, close 50%. And after you close 50%, so if you've been in these trades, what you need to have done, well, actually, you want this to reach 1R and then close 50%. So this one back in here, you've already closed 50%. So we're just waiting for that 1R distance to secure 50%. This one hasn't quite done it yet, right? Maybe that stops a little wide. Oh no, yeah. Anyway, that's the strategy, guys. That's it. This is a monster trade strategy. Hang on to them for as long as you like in 2026, because I think gold is definitely on the move. And this is the kind of strategy that you'll look for when you see a a trend reversal on the weekly time frame. You get down, you get in there early, right? That's it. Okay, I don't want to ramble on too much, but that's the strategy. Now, look, we've got big data coming out all through the London and all through the New York session tonight. It's at the end of the week, and I'm half expecting gold to chuck a wobbly. I really am at this point at the end of this week. I generally want to start building my positions early in the week. Why? Okay, here's a concept for you. Let's just grab that. Okay, let's just call that a weekly range high and low. So what you get the weekly open. So let's just say it's bullish. The market opens, you generally get a run on liquidity. That's the low. So you open, this is the candle, right? The low of the candle, the high of the candle, and then down into the close of the candle. So the candle will actually look like that. And there's your candle wicks, right? There's a candle wick. Right, you get the idea. So I'm generally looking to build this early on in the week when you get this initial kind of run on liquidity, and then it starts to trend, and you want to get in early and build early. So now we're at the latter end of the week. So, and we've got all this data coming out tonight. So it could be dodgy, guys. But anyway, look, I'm going to continue with this concept. It's the monster trade strategy. And what can I say? Stay tuned. Subscribe. Comment. Tell me what you think of this. And follow me, because this is going to be a very exciting year. Big time. All right. I'll wrap it up. Love it if you commented. Let me know what you think, and share your ideas. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.